I'm Coyote Peterson, and I hope you enjoyed this collection of my favorite adventures presented here for you only on Kidstream. Be brave, stay wild.
I'm Coyote Peterson, and you're never going to believe what I just found living underneath the lily pads in this lake. Snapping turtles have been hailed throughout history as swamp monsters, famous for their incredible bite force and prehistoric-looking appearance. Since childhood, these reptiles have both captivated and encouraged me to follow my passion of exploring the natural world to get up close and personal with animals. Today I'm in Columbus, Ohio at Blendon Woods Metro Park. Now, this is a location that I've been doing research on common snapping turtles at for 5 years now. The team and I have special permissions to be off trail and to be able to go out on the water in a kayak. And what I'm hoping to do today is catch one of these turtles that I've been researching so I can show you guys why this is my favorite reptile.
All right, I'm rolling. All right, Coyote, tell us what you're doing with this kayak.
So I'm going to use the kayak to try to get myself close to the turtles. You see how much plant life is already grown in? That means they're hiding under the algae, hiding under the lily pads. If I'm in the kayak, I can kind of coast along the edge of the lily pads and look for turtles that are up towards the surface, hunting for fish and tadpoles. This will allow me to be standing on the kayak. I can jump off into the water and try to get my hands on one. All right, let's see if we can have some luck finding ourselves a mud dragon. Leaping from a kayak is the safest way to capture one of these turtles, and grabbing it by the back of the shell will ensure that no harm comes to me or the reptile. So I got it! It's a big turtle! Woo! Oh my gosh, it is an absolute dinosaur. Hold on, I'm sinking in the mud. That is the common snapping turtle, and he is about the size of a dinosaur. Oh my gosh, it's a backbreaker. Look at that. Wow. My heart's beating on my chest right now. Wow, look, that's about as close as you want to get your face to the face of a snapping turtle. Look at those claws. And I call these guys mud dragons because they have those beautiful yellow eyes, all these scales on the front of their feet, and claws that just make you say, I don't want to go swimming in the pond behind my house. Yeah, I see you. Look at his head. His head is like the size of a softball. And he's saying right now, go ahead, get your nose just a touch closer, and I will make dinner of it. And what these turtles are doing right now is floating at the surface, looking for fish and tadpoles. And this algae is exactly what they're floating in. You can see the side of his head. It's growing right on top of this guy's dome, and that's how he's staying so camouflaged. Okay, so one thing I want to show you guys that is really unique about the snapping turtle from any other turtle is the bottom of the shell, which is called the plastron. And you see how small his plastron is? You've got all this meat, that's exposed. That's why these reptiles have kind of evolved with these incredible dinosaur-like qualities. All these scales on the forelimbs, this big protective shell, that bite force, and these claws pretty much say I'm the king of this wetland. Good looking boy. And I know this is a boy. You can usually tell because of the size. The males get quite a bit larger than the females, and then the males' tails are significantly longer. And this guy just has an absolute dragon tail. Can you see that from the side there? They have these big scutes along the back of their tails. Look at that. And that's about as prehistoric looking as you can get for a reptile that lives here in Ohio. All that algae that's growing on his face. Now when he's underwater, his head basically looks like a floating rock, and they can really slowly project that forward, and as a fish gets closer, that's when they snap, and he's got dinner. Respect. Number one thing you have to have whenever working with the common snapping turtle. You get complacent for just a second, and you're going home minus one finger. Wow. That was about the coolest experience I could have had with my favorite turtle on the planet. I'm sure that you guys have a bunch of questions and some stories of your own about mud dragons, so leave me your comments and your stories below. I'm gonna let this guy go back out so you can finish your hunting for the night, right? I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, let's go, buddy. There's no question about it. These turtles have inspired my love and admiration for the natural world and all its amazing animals. In part, they've been the reason you are now about to join me on this journey that will become known as Breaking Trail. And it's my hope that through this series, you too will gain a newfound love for some of the coolest creatures on the planet. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I just had an animal encounter that's gonna knock your socks off. Get ready to see the largest freshwater turtle in North America. The waterlogged landscapes of the South provide a rich and protected environment for a plethora of species. Today, the crew and I are exploring a private preserve in Homestead, Florida. Whether traveling by airboat over the saturated fields of sawgrass or trudging through on foot, one thing is for certain. This is one seriously unforgiving habitat.
Watch out for the moccasins.
On this particular morning, we were looking for one of the preserve's rarest resident reptiles. This turtle is kept in a confined area, but finding him amongst the plants and mud is far easier said than done. Sadly, their numbers have greatly decreased over the past quarter century, and they are now protected throughout the range in the southeastern United States. And although this species doesn't naturally occur in the Florida Everglades, the environment was a perfect backdrop for a creature that is considered an ancient legend of folklore myth. Let's just sneak up slow on this and try not to startle anything that might be out. Yeah, there could be alligators, so just be aware. Hey, something's moving right here. Hold on. Keep up. Move it. It's a turtle. It's huge. It is huge. It's an alligator snapping turtle. Hold on, let me bring it back around this way. Whoa! Can you believe the size of that turtle? Holy cow! Whoa there, buddy. Oh my goodness. I saw these plants moving. He started to bury down. Look at the size of him. Man, is he powerful. There's no doubt about it. This is the biggest turtle I have ever captured. Woo! Look at that head. Jeez, he's trying to get my face in his mouth. Holy cow, this can be a 100-pound turtle. Look at that swamp beast. My goodness, what an absolute dinosaur. Wow, look at that mouth. My entire fist could fit inside there. And yeah, you would not want to get your hand caught in the mouth of this turtle. Let's see if I can get him to put his head up a little bit for us. Up here, buddy. Wow, look at that. Have you ever seen something so prehistoric? Look at those eyes. His eyes are just beautiful. Now, one of the easy ways to quickly identify an alligator snapping turtle, which as soon as I jumped into the water, I knew it was an alligator snapping turtle because of these three large ridges that run along the top of the carapace. Now, carapace is the top of the shell. Now, common snapping turtles, the cousin to this species, does not have these distinct ridges. So the plastron, which is the bottom of the shell, on snapping turtles is quite a bit smaller than other turtle species. And the way you can tell whether it's a male or a female is that the males have a slightly concave shell and females have slightly convex shell. So this is a big boy. The males usually have tails that are quite a bit longer than the females as well. And I can also kind of see that he has some turtle parts.
That is a huge turtle.
That is a very, very big turtle. Actually, there was a story in Kansas in 1937 of a 405-pound alligator snapping turtle. I'm guessing this guy's probably around 100 pounds. So if you can imagine something almost 4 times this size, you really are talking about a dinosaur. So now the moment of truth, to find out how much this turtle weighs. I found a pretty good stick that I think is going to support the weight of the turtle. I'm going to use my pack to build a harness, tie him in, and then I think, need your help, Mark, to hoist him up. I'm going to guess this turtle is somewhere between 70 and 100 pounds. 1, 2, 3, up. Oh my gosh. That is a heavy turtle. Just at about 90 pounds for this alligator snapping turtle. A few more fish eaten, and this guy is gonna break the century mark. Every time we encounter an animal, we like to make sure we are as gentle as possible. And right now, he's just basically wanting to get back out into the water. This is, you know, a slightly stressful situation for him, but I just try to keep him calm and enjoy their company for the moment. And I really wanted to catch this turtle and bring it up onto shallower water so you guys could have the experience of being up close and personal with one of the most ancient creatures on our planet. Wow, what an unbelievable encounter with the largest freshwater turtle in North America, the alligator snapping turtle. Now I'm sure that you guys have plenty of questions for me about this swamp beast, so leave me comments below and let's talk alligator snapping turtles. Personal best for me. I don't know if I'll ever catch another turtle this big. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. You ready to head back out there and catch some fish? All right, I'll walk him over here, deeper water. All right, and off he goes. See you later, big guy. If you love animals and adventure, make sure to check out my website, coyotepeterson.com, for more great episodes of Breaking Trail. There's a snapping turtle right there hiding in those weeds. He looks pretty big. Now, this is how they manage to stay hidden so well.
That's a rock.
That's not a rock, that is a snapping turtle. You think that's a rock, don't you?
I'm almost certain it's a rock.
That is 100% a common snapping turtle. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at that power. Ouch, 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 thorns, thorns. There you have it. First dragon of the year. Whew. And he is an absolute stinker. Holy moly, look at you. Holy cow, you're new. I have never captured this turtle here at Blended Woods before. First timer, I know, I see you, but you look like, whew, a little close to the face there. I know you were trying to catch your afternoon nap, and he said, why did you come in here and wake me up? I was trying to take my afternoon nap. Look at that. Look at the amount of power and force that comes out of that neck as he's just wanting to get my finger or my nose into those jaws. What a beautiful turtle. A lot of times you guys have seen some of the other turtle videos and you say, wow, did he sedate that turtle? Absolutely not. These turtles are always extremely aggressive right when you first take them out of the water, but as he can tell, I'm not poking at him, I'm not prodding at him. Yes, I know you would love to give me a bite. Hold on, you're slipping off of my knee. There we go. And more under control. All you gotta do is be kind and gentle with these animals and they will calm down. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just pet the head a little bit like this. He's not used to me because he's never been captured before. But he is one handsome looking mud dragon. All right, let's go up here.
So I guess he wasn't a rock. I guess I owe you pizza.
Yeah, you owe me $20.
Thought lunch would suffice.
Now let's get up close and personal for a second with this beautiful snapping turtle, and let's talk about why we call these prehistoric looking reptiles mud dragons. I mean, have you guys ever seen anything so prehistoric looking? You've got these front arms that are armed with unbelievable sharp dragon-like claws. Look at these scales running down the forelimbs. I know you're close to my face and you would love to bite me, but that's not going to happen. And see that defense pose right there? He's basically saying, back up, Coyote. don't get any closer or I will get your nose in my beak and you will lose it. Now look at those eyes. Look how beautiful the eyes of a snapping turtle are. These guys are covered in mud and algae and leeches, yet those eyes have this incredibly bright yellow glow to them that really makes them look like mythological dragons. So that's where the name came from. These animals that are covered in mud, living in mud, yet they looked like the prehistoric dragons that we know from folklore. Hence the term mud dragon. Very cool. I'm so excited. The first turtle of the year, first turtle that you guys are getting to see, a 29-pounder. I got leeches on me. I got up close with those claws. We're gonna let him back off into the water and see what else we can find. This is one of the smaller turtles that lives here in Thoreau Lake at Blendon Woods. And we're gonna go out there and we're gonna find ourselves an absolute dinosaur. All right, buddy, let's get you back into the water. Wow. Beautiful. That is one 29-pound handsome common snapping turtle, a true mud dragon. Now I've never captured this turtle here before at Blendon Woods, therefore it does not have a name. I want you guys to name this turtle. The first turtle of Dragon Tales should definitely be named by the audience. You guys leave me what the name of this turtle should be in the comment section below. All right, let's let this guy back into the lake. We'll see you later, buddy. I'm Coyote Peterson, and today we're going to show you the difference between the common snapping turtle and the alligator snapping turtle. I oftentimes question whether or not there is a predator in the wetland ecosystem that is more perfectly designed than the snapping turtle. Try to imagine yourself as a fish out for a morning swim, and around each and every lily pad you turn, there may be a set of bone-crushing jaws waiting to meet you. Snapping turtles rule their food chain, and the wetlands of America are their kingdom. There are two very distinct types of snapping turtles that have multiple species within their respective genera. To keep it simple, we will talk generically about the common snapping turtle, which grows to an average weight of 30 pounds and is native to nearly the entire eastern half of the United States, parts of Mexico, and Central America. Then there is the larger alligator snapping turtle, which averages close to 70 pounds, a threatened species whose range has been reduced to the southeastern United States. These reptiles are truly ancient, and today we are lucky enough to have both of these species on hand so we can give you an up-close look at their distinct differences. This is Adam Ramirez, the true turtle man of Louisiana, and what we have for you guys here are our two distinct dragons. Now, as you guys know, I'm from Ohio. I'm used to catching this guy right here, the common snapping turtle, or as I refer to it, the mud dragon. Now, what Adam's used to working with is this guy right here, what they refer to as loggerheads, the alligator snapping turtle. So, you said this is about the average size of the common snapping turtles that you guys get down here, right?
Yeah, that's about average
now,
size.
for me, this is a small common snapping turtle.
Really?
Now, I know a lot of you have seen our other videos on snapping turtles and you've thought, gosh, these alligator snapping turtles seem really, really calm. Now, as soon as you get an alligator snapping turtle out of the water, handle it gently, put it on your knee, they really do calm down. Is that what you experience, Adam? Almost all of them, after they've been captured, figure, okay, the more I struggle, the more energy I'm going to waste. The common snapping turtle is a much more aggressive species than the alligator snapping turtle. Let me see if I can get him to strike here. Whew, yeah, you see how fast that head shoots out of the mouth? Now, the alligator snapping turtle, I'm gonna keep you away from my nose, doesn't ever really strike his head out. See that? He'll open his mouth up wider and say, go ahead, get your hand close to those scissor-like jaws, but he's not even gonna actually strike. You see that? I can get my hand all the way in front of his face. Now, I don't recommend you ever try that at home with either of these turtle species, but the point I'm trying to prove is that the common snapping turtle is much more aggressive than the alligator snapping turtle. The one major difference between all snapping turtles that makes them separate from other turtle species is that they cannot tuck their extremities into their shell. You see how small the plastron is on both the common and the alligator snapping turtle. You have all of this exposed muscle, and that's why they've developed these incredible defensive techniques. And you see both turtles have their mouths open right now, both of them ready to bite if we get our fingers too close. But look at the bite spread on the alligator snapping turtle as compared to the common snapping turtle. Huge difference there. Now, alligator snapping turtles hunt by laying on the bottom of slow-moving creeks and rivers with that little worm-like appendage. You see that right there in the base of his mouth? Looks just like a worm. Now that's how these turtles hunt because they're ambush predators. Common snapping turtles are nomadic predators, which means that they're going to move about in a body of water looking for their prey, actually hunting it down before they catch it, kill it, and consume it. Now the carapace is the top of the shell, and you can see that the common snapping turtle has a much smoother appearance as compared to the spiky appearance of the alligator snapping turtle. Common snapping turtles typically inhabit ponds like you see behind us, and alligator snapping turtles are usually found in slow-moving creeks and rivers. Now, the common snapping turtles have these large, pointy osteoderms on their tails. Now, osteoderm is just a piece of bone covered in scale. And you see it really looks like the spikes on the tail of a dragon. You see the osteoderms on the alligator snapping turtle are a lot smaller, and as these turtles grow and their tails get bigger, the osteoderms actually get smaller, which is the opposite with common snapping turtles. As a common snapping turtle continues to grow, its tail gets fatter and the osteoderms become more pronounced. Now, if you look at the nose of the common snapping turtle, it's short and blunt. The nose of the alligator snapping turtle is much longer. And these turtles, all they need to do is stick their heads up out of the water, body stays completely submerged. They can use those little eyes as periscopes looking around, get a breath of air, and then disappear back down into the murky abyss. Wow, this was pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this, getting the chance to see a common snapping turtle compared to an alligator snapping turtle. Adam, thanks for getting us up close with these turtles. We're gonna put them back into the wild, and then we're gonna go look for some monsters, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right, tonight we're heading out into the creeks to look for dragons. Snapping turtles have been on the planet since the late Cretaceous period, dating back nearly 70 million years in the fossil record. Despite whether or not you think they are the perfect aquatic predator, I think we can all agree that these enormous turtles are about as prehistoric as it gets.
Ooh, Mario, got a painted turtle.
What?
Oh, it's an Eastern painted.
For over 200 million years, a reptile known as the turtle has been inhabiting the wetlands of our planet. Whether you know it or not, hidden beneath the lily pads of a remote lake, or right in the waters of the pond behind your house, they can be found, silently living an elusive existence. My favorite species is the common snapping turtle, prehistoric in design and armed with a powerful bite and razor-sharp claws. This is not an example of a turtle you should ever try to interact with. However, there are a number of species that are completely harmless, safe to encounter, and even handle if you are quick enough to catch one.
What's that? Check that out. That is a Midland painted turtle, near perfect specimen. Look at the top of its carapace. It's green in coloration. Wow, that is about one of the best looking Midland painted turtles I have ever seen. Now, the way I know that it's a Midland painted turtle is look at the bottom of the shell. You see that real distinct pattern on the plastron? That is a 100% giveaway that this is a Midland painted turtle as compared to an Eastern painted turtle. You'll also notice the very distinct red line running down the spinal length of the turtle's carapace. What I love about these turtles is look at the very distinct pattern on the side of the face. Yellow stripes that then bleed into reddish colored stripes. They go down the length of the neck and then span out onto the front forelimbs. And that patterning sort of follows the entire length of the turtle's body. Let's see, how aggressive are you? Bite? You gonna bite? Now, most of the time they won't bite. Now, this is a safe turtle species that if you guys are watching is safe to catch. As you can see, they do have sharp claws. They are capable of giving you a little bite, but it is certainly nothing that you need to be afraid of. So if you're going out into a wetland ecosystem, you're trying to catch turtles, the Midland painted turtle is probably your #1 target. Although they are extremely fast and can be very difficult to catch, especially if they're out basking on logs. They just plop off the edge into the water and disappear into the murkiness. That's pretty cool. Good start, I would say, to the day.
Almost any backyard pond in the northeastern United States is likely to have a Midland painted turtle. These reptiles are incredibly common, and if you know where to look, there's a good chance you will spot one. With that said, catching its nearly identical cousin, the eastern painted turtle, is a bit more challenging, as in my opinion, they tend to be found in bodies of water that have less human encroachment.
Ooh, Mario, got a painted turtle.
What?
Oh, it's an Eastern painted turtle. Wow.
Yes!
Nice.
Check this out. Okay, so we managed to show you guys the Midland painted turtle, which in my opinion is probably the most common painted turtle species that we have here in Ohio, but this is an Eastern painted turtle. Now the way that I can tell the difference is the Easterns are a little bit smaller, and look at the carapace. You'll notice there is no distinct line running down the spinal column, which of course is inside the carapace, and then the plastron is completely dark in coloration. Now remember, the Midland painted turtle had a very distinct oval design on the bottom of its plastron, but the Midland painted turtle does not. And this is also a male, and the way I can tell is he has very long front claws. Check out those claws. Perfect for digging through the environment. And just like the Midland painted turtle, they have these very distinct yellow and red markings all over their faces, down the sides of their neck, and then onto their forearms. And that's where they got the name painted turtle. I know, you just want to go back off into the wild. Now, you know that tucking into your shell is the way to stay safe from predators. And you may be asking yourself, what would eat a turtle like this adorable little reptile? Well, actually, the painted turtle can oftentimes fall victim to predators such as raccoons, fox, and sometimes mink, which, as we know, are an aquatic member of the weasel family. Now, like the Midland painted turtle, the Eastern painted turtle also is an opportunistic predator. They will feast on small little tadpoles, little invertebrates that you'll find in the water, and occasionally even baby snakes. Look at you. I just saw something moving through the lily pads. For a second, I was like, wait a second, it's a turtle. Just naturally had to grab it, and lo and behold, it is the Eastern. Wow. Actually, I've not caught an Eastern painted turtle in a number of years. Midland painted turtles are much more common than Eastern painted turtles, so finding one of these guys truly is a gem. Hi buddy, how are you? Now, we've caught a lot of snapping turtles, and I always have to tell you guys, do not try to catch snapping turtles. But if you go into a wetland environment and you are fast enough to catch the painted turtle, this is certainly a species that is completely safe to handle. Just make sure you always place it right back where you found it. Well, this was pretty cool, getting to show you guys a comparison between the Midland and the Eastern painted turtle. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, little guy, time for you to head back off into the lily pads. Here we go. If you love animals, make sure to search for the Brave Wilderness channel on YouTube so you can join me and the crew on our next big adventure. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I hope you enjoyed this collection of my favorite adventures presented here for you only on Kidstream. Be brave, stay wild.